This is the Excel tutorial part 4. We're going to talk about graphing data. First thing I'm going to do is generate myself some data. So I'm going to go 1, 2, use this green dot to replicate this down to 10. For the y value, I'm going to use y equals mx plus b with a slope of 2 and intercept of 4. I'm going to name these to m and b so they're easier to reference. So now I can set up my equation, y equals m times x. You have to do the implied operations. You can't just type m and then x plus b, hit enter, replicate this down. Now these are staying fixed references because I named them m and b. If you had just done a regular cell reference, you would need to make that fixed for these two. Okay, so there's my data. Now I can go and insert a chart by going to the Insert tab, and then here's the chart section. Let me just do a scatter plot here. And there you can see my x-axis down there and the y-axis right there. You'll need to have the x on the right and the x on the left and y on the right for this to generate correctly. Now let's suppose that you didn't have these in the right order, or you maybe had two y columns. So let me just set this up. I'm going to do y equals, let's do 3 times x plus 6, so that it looks a little bit different. Move these up a little bit so they're out of the way. All right, so I'm going to insert just a blank scatter plot here. So go to under chart design, I can go to select data, and now I'm going to go to add here. Series name, I'm going to do y1 first. Select x values, don't include the heading. Select the y values. Click OK. There's that same plot there. I'm going to add another series for y2. I'm going to call it y2. Select the x values again. Select the y values. I'm going to do Control-Shift down just to do that quicker. Click OK, and there you go. There's both sets of data there. All right, so once you've got your data plotted, there's a lot of little elements you're going to want to add, like axis titles, primary horizontal, primary vertical. This is all under the chart design, add chart elements. You can change what these say by double-clicking and then typing in them. And you can also add a chart title to the top. Okay, if you're plotting more than one set of data, it'd be nice to have a legend, so I'm going to put that on the right over here. And then I want to also add a trend line to both. I'm going to do linear. Since I've got two data sets, it's going to ask, so I'll do one for y1, and then I'm going to go back and do it for y2 as well. So there you go. If you want to change some settings about these trend lines, you can double-click on a trend line and do things like display the equation on the chart. There's the equation of that orange line. That was at 3x plus 6. Just like I did in this equation right here. You can do that for the blue one as well. You can also forecast forward and backwards using this option right here. But I won't show that right now. You'll notice I accidentally screwed at that point. I'm just going to Control-Z and undo that change. You can do the same thing for different kinds of graphs. So I could select these, go to Insert. I could do just a regular line plot like that. It's not very exciting. I could do a bar graph. The bar graphs are not designed to be with multiple columns of like an XY. It's just plotting each column individually, so it's not very exciting. But the process of selecting the data works exactly the same. And then one last thing to note is if you're not working on the desktop version, these settings are going to look different. So just keep in mind most of this stuff that I'm doing right now, you can find pretty easily by Googling how do I blank in the Excel online version or in Excel on Mac. That's all for now.